In this section, we demonstrate and analyse the riding techniques that will show you how to arm yourself with the tools you need to survive the urban commute. Less power and greater vulnerability, it's the small things that make a big difference in the busy city.
I'm not going to choose to filter because this vehicle is not going to set off very quickly on this incline anyway. If the guy in front rolls back because he's holding it on the brakes, when the brake lights disappear, he's got a good chance of rolling back before he engages his clutch or his power or drive. So I'm left a good bike's length or so just to allow him that little bit of distance like that in case he rolls back. If it's misjudged or the new drivers, that can be a problem sometimes.
As you can see, we're not choosing to filter at this point. With the speed restricted vehicle arm on at the moment, it'll struggle to accelerate away from these lights on the hill. It means the cars are going to set off and probably leave me standing, and there'll be limited space for me to use there. We're just going to hold back from the vehicle, set off at a good distance away, just in case he rolls back, and we're controlling all the area around us safely.
Again, going to look for a filtering opportunity if possible. Doesn't look too bad. Vehicle didn't look in his blind spot before he moved across though. Good job we had eyes in the mirrors and was aware of what's there, so we can just shift position.
As we come along areas like this, it's important to keep an eye on what's on the right hand side, just in case we need to use that space at any time. With vehicles, sometimes they'll check and move in the mirror, but they won't check the blind spot before they move out. So it's important to control the area around you so that if you need to take space, you can.
Just watching the Audi as he comes across. Checking to allow me through, and the bus is watching the pedestrian. Again, just looking at another possible filter. Keeping it smooth and steady so I can suss people out and not looking in the mirrors at the moment. Just going to rest behind the BM. Not going to try and beat the BM away. Because as he turns left, he's going to close the gap down on his left hand side. So he's basically going to come further towards me. Watching for the learner car, she's putting it in gear. Pull away again. Little gap from the rear. Watching the kid on the right hand side clamber over the wall. Traffic lights. Pedestrians coming towards the traffic lights, just working the mirrors again, staying away from the pedestrians.
And as we're setting off, you can see the vehicle slowing up ahead. We're going to need to take space on the right hand side, but being a bit careful because of these vision restricted vehicles on the left. It makes the area on the left very uncontrolled. So anything can approach and step out between the vehicles, or you can see the vehicles joining further down. We're being aware of that silver one on the left hand side, just in case he moves out. So that's why I've hung that a little bit wider in this lane. We've got static vehicles further down, so we're just moving through. And we're going to bring it to rest behind this BMW. Now we can see from his position that he's probably going to take my space away if I was a little further forward. And the learner driver's holding it on the handbrake. So it might be a little bit of time before she sets off like that.
He's watching the pedal bike now. He's going to move slightly wider for his parked vehicles. I'm going to avoid the drain while I can. And just filter at the middle. Okay, avoiding the filter at the moment. The traffic's going to set off and some of them can move and weave around a little bit. Just working the mirrors as we allow the pedal bike to accelerate us a little bit. Giving them a bit of space. Checking there's no one in lane 2, I'm just going to take lane 2 and accelerate away. Watching the silver one just in case she pulls out.
Okay, we can see the pedal bike up ahead moving wide for his silver vehicle. Now the brake lights on the silver vehicle hopefully mean the driver's not going to open the door or actually set off in the way of the pedal bike and make him move wide. Should any of this happen, we're controlling that right mirror and the space to our right so that we can take an avoidance if needed. As we continue on our way past the pedal bike, we can see a queue of traffic further down with a possible filter. Now the lights have changed, which is going to make things quite uncontrolled. As everybody sets off, there's quite a bit of movement, and you can see the pedal bike creeping up there as well. To allow the risk to be minimal here, I need this nice space and time to work. So I'm going to check and move out into lane 2, and you can see the junction on the left hand side with the drivers looking at us.
Slowing down for the corner if the lights change, we're halfway to stopping. Noticing the scooters on the other side, just continuing with the rear brake, that little touch to help the bike turn, controlling the turn. Just keeping my eye out for the scooters as their lights change. Just got to pick my way through nice and easy. Now the scooter's set off behind us, so we're watching for him coming through as well. Watching for the pedestrian crossing further down. Make sure this driver can actually see me.
As we come towards the traffic lights, we can see the 2 scooters on the left hand side. They're probably going to set off quite quickly, so we need to stay in these mirrors, keep an eye out for those in case they start filtering through the traffic. The black vehicle on the right hand side is restricting the visibility into that queue of traffic on the right, so anything could be there. Now if I just moved over, you can see there would be conflict with this silver vehicle. The silver vehicle is probably really restricted with his visibility. Can't see me as clearly because he's sat on the right hand side of the car, looking past the pedestrian area. We've held the scooter that little bit longer, fed into the gap, controlling the space in the front, and keeping an eye on that left mirror for the scooter that's moving up to us.
Easing down. Again looking for a possible filter opportunity. And you can see that vehicle's out to the left hand side a little bit more than I could, so I couldn't filter through there. Just keeping an eye on it. Easing through again, watching the pedestrians and the traffic lights further down. Position of the vehicle is still not improved much. I'm watching another bike a little bit further back as well. And as we're coming up, again allowing the vehicle to pull a little bit further forward, watching the van in lane 1 at the moment. Just allowing this vehicle to pull away from me, watching the pedestrian. Again, possible opportunity to filter, but the vehicle is still sat narrowing that gap slightly. That looks like a little bit of a better gap. Just checking the vehicle as it slows in lane 1. It's going to allow me to feed through. Good looking in the mirrors as well, just to clarify what's going on to the rear. Watching for any vehicles in lane 1 that wants to take lane 2 because it's smooth flowing at the moment.
Okay, when we follow in traffic and filtering such as this, it's quite important to use the position to control what's going on. So I've dropped it down to a white line here, so I can view what's going on now. That area just behind the silver vehicle would be quite unsafe to stop in, so I'm holding back and not taking the filter on. The big red truck, I want to try and control the space around that red truck and keep an eye on him in the mirror if I can, so that if the filter opportunity is on I can take it, but I want to make sure that he's not going to shoot down the inside of me. I've just adjusted my position back to the middle, as you can see, and if I use a little head check like that, that'll just make sure the truck's a little bit less positive about coming down the inside of me, really. So we're controlling the space and the area that's around us just by using the position and putting observations in so that other people can see what we may be intending to do or thinking about doing. Again, the traffic started moving off and we see brake lights disappearing. So we're not taking this filter on because people will be moving into areas that we can't control, and there's a lot of different speeds between the vehicles.
At the loop, red lights, mirrors, easing down both brakes, just allowing the car to actually sit, or the car driver in lane 2 on the right hand side of us, visual access of us by pulling right up alongside him so he can actually see me. I'm not just in his peripheral vision where he can forget about me or I can disappear. Now chances are if he's accelerating he might want the lane I'm in.
So as we come down towards the traffic lights, we're looking at this vehicle in lane 2. As we pull up and stop, you can see the vehicles on the right hand side. Now if they set off, that's going to make this BMW try and take my space away. So I'm going to let him out accelerate me. I'm on a limited speed vehicle anyway, so he should out accelerate me fairly quickly. And then if he does want to take the space, it's nice and clean and everything's controlled.
Green lights but going slow just in case there's any pedestrians trying to cross over. See there's one vehicle blocking the way at the moment. Okay, the vehicles up in front have started moving. I'm going to put a bit of gas on, just hold it on the back brake. When I release that'll allow me a little bit of gas to get it start moving. Just checking and easing through the second vehicle. She's drifting out wide that little bit, just keeping an eye on her, trying to scan the mirrors as we come through the area like this, and just hold on the rear brake every now and again. You can see the BM second vehicle moving, ready for the lights change by the look of it. Again, can see the pedestrian crossings on red a little bit further down, and just working the mirrors as we go through the traffic. And the more forward focus we have, the less the mirror checks will work. The more we practice techniques, the cleaner that'll get, and we will be able to work the mirrors while we're doing that. Just regulate the vehicle to the right and the left hand side before we move through. We're just easing through. Again, looking at the vehicles as we go. Just create myself a little gap behind the red one as it narrows for the pedestrian crossing. Watching me in the mirror. That was nice, she's watching me in the mirror and just watching in case I was deciding to filter. Okay, we're just going to peel off to the right hand side here. Excellent. Just give her a little thank you sign and a thumbs up.
Now with the dense traffic, as we filter, the speed wants to be very slow. Again, high-sided vehicles are going to block the view to the left, so it wants to be really quite slow through these areas. Now should I choose to take the gap on the right hand side, the vehicle could pull into that space. So if I was going to filter at this point, it would be round the back to the left of the vehicle. But I'd need to be aware of anything coming from the left hand side that was joining or anything like that. As we progress through the filter, again the speed dictates really slow so that we can measure exactly what's going on here. We're viewing the traffic for who's got brake lights and who's moving, trying to look in the mirrors as we're going along. We can see the lead vehicle in lane 2 is a little bit wider, so we've chose this space. Now I can see the vehicles exiting the roundabout are blocking a lot of the space away, so these two vehicles are not going to set off fast because they've got nowhere to go. So everything's going to set off fairly smooth and controlled here, which is what we're after. The transit van, I'm going to try and place myself so I'm in his mirror all the time. I'm not going to pull alongside him, so we've stopped early, controlling the traffic. Again, letting things sort themselves out before I choose these gaps. We're not flying through. Now you can see the red one here. See how she's dropped in a little bit, and she's allowing me a lot of space in front of her. Shows she's aware of me in the mirror. Now should I have chose to filter at that point, that's that nice little gap that I would have taken. I'm planning to exit right further down. That's why I didn't choose that gap, because it would have meant inconveniencing her really to move across.